Alright, an important and a huge concept. But before I start, keep in mind that the video you are watching is a part of a series. The series is titled Startup Investments. I will talk about initial public offering in the sense of startup investments. In this video, I will try to give out all the basic information you need to know about initial public offering. So, it is initial public offering. You are offering something to the public for the first time. This is the process a private company needs to go through in order to become a public one. The company will start selling its shares in the stock market for the first time. There are two main reasons why a company goes public. First of all, they might need money. They will be able to raise their capital by selling their shares in the stock market. There are a lot of reasons behind why a company can need capital. I think I have talked about the reasons a lot in this series. They might want to expand their business to another country, etc. The second reason is exiting the business. A partner in the company might decide that they will sell off the shares they have in the general market. Now, IPO is the first time the company will offer its share to the public. Before that, the company will be owned by a limited number of partners who have founded or invested in them. But after IPO, anyone can buy a share in the company. You need to keep in mind that you only get money when you sell the shares you own for the first time. Then it is owned by whoever bought it from the stock market. They can resell it whenever they want. Even if they resell it for double the price they bought it in, you, the company owner, are not going to make any money from that transaction. You will earn money only for the first time you sell the shares. There is an option for the company to buy back shares from the stock market as well. And there can be a number of reasons why a company can decide to buy their shares back from the market. But for now, let us get to know the process of initial public offering a little bit. First of all, you need to define the exact reason why you are taking this decision. If your company requires capital, clearly state that for what reason you need the capital. There can be 1,000 of reasons why financing is required. You need to state that. Then you have to hire an investment bank as underwriters. There are other things the investment banks do, but underwriting is a big part of it. You also need to choose the investment bank very carefully. That is because a good investment bank is going to do almost everything needed for the IPO, and they will also make sure that you get the best outcome from going public. The investment bank is going to do the final valuation of the company before going public. They are going to decide the number of stocks that are going to be sold in the market. And they will also decide the price of each individual share. They have additional responsibilities that include the marketing of the shares before it goes public. Then you also need to decide about the stock markets that you will be selling the stocks in. This is also an important decision to make, as there are a lot of markets a stock can be exchanged. After all of that, the share is going to be released to the market in a set date, and people will start trading the stocks with each other. There are some obvious advantages and disadvantages of IPO. The biggest risk with IPO is that you might not be able to raise the amount of money needed. Yes, there is a chance that you go through all of the process needed for the initial public offering and you do not get the money you needed in the first place. You might have needed $20 million for expanding your business into a new area, but you might only end up with $10 million from the IPO. If that happens, the whole process of the initial public offering is going to be a failure. After that, you also have to pay a heavy fee to the investment banks for performing all of the services required to go public. Investment banks can be very good, but they are also very costly. Another negative outcome after going public is that all of the information regarding your company is going to be available to the general public. Most of the actions taken by you for your company is going to be under public scrutiny. As a founder, you might have a long-term plan for your company. As you have taken all these steps to carry your business forward in the market, you definitely have an idea about what you want to achieve with the company. You might want to leave a bigger mark in the industry. You might want to help as many people as possible with your endeavor. But once your stocks are being traded in the market, there is always going to be a pressure on you to maximize the profit in the next quarter. With the short-term mindset, you are never going to be able to achieve the long-term goal of your business. The constant pressure of making a profit in the short run is always going to be on you, and you cannot really escape that. You might think you can, but you cannot. You yourself might be willing to take a financial hit for the next 1 or 2 years for a long-term goal. But not everyone is going to understand that. And there is another problem here that you need to consider. You might feel like being a rebel against the majority. After all, it is your own company. You might still strive for the long-term vision you have had for the company. The possibility of you getting voted out of your own company is going to be high in that case. And there are some famous examples here as well. And of course, there is a potential of losing the overall control of your company since the shares of your company is going to be owned by others. Typically, companies do not sell a lot of shares that will give the shareholders the majority rights. Although there is a way to revoke the voting rights of the shareholders if you sell preferred stocks instead of common stocks. But with preferred stocks, you have to provide a predetermined steady dividend. And with that, I'd like to conclude my explanations for IPO. And with this discussion, I am also done with the ways you can gather investments for your business. Again, I only talked about debt financing in the case of friends and family. I am not going to tell you to go take a loan from a bank and start your business. That is very risky for a startup. And you are risking a lot more than the options I have discussed in the equity financing cases. I hope this discussion was enough for you. If you have any questions, you can always comment below. I still have one last video on this topic that I'm going to talk about later. That would be how to pitch your business. How to pitch to everybody. That is going to be a little longer than this one. It might take a month for me to complete that one. In the meantime, there will be other videos. And my patrons on Patreon will have early access to that video, the video on pitch. Now, bonus content. For bonus, I would like to talk about one person really shortly. The name of the person is John Tyler. He was born in 1790 and he died in 1862. He was the 10th president of United States and he was president from 1841 to 1845. That's it. That was it for bonus. And this is the official end of this video. Thank you so much for watching if you are still watching. Now, I really hope you have learned something new today. Goodbye for now.